Leave Billified a voicemail anytime on the Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram line at 585-206-8866.
Hey, just catching up, man. I was just listening Tales from Silver Creek. Didn't they do Dan Dirt? What was it? Dan Dirt? What was it? What Dirt? They did didn't they do a couple of Dirt movies?
Like Joe Dirt.
Well, anyways, good talking with you, Billy. Shaking up here, boss. Shaking the bush, boss.
And be sure to like and subscribe to Billified wherever you get your podcast.
I don't know, but you can call anytime at 585-206-8866. You get a lot of Facebook friend requests.
Okay.
And I don't always accept some of the friend requests because sometimes I'll get like this. It'll be a woman from, I don't know, Arizona or Miami. Yeah. I'm like, all right. But I always like to click on it because I want to see how many mutual friends. And there's always some guy that is a friend of this person. So today I got one from a dude who's in Seattle. And it said then he was from Homer, Nevada or somewhere like that. So I'm like, well, it's a little weird one. Normally I would say no, but he was also friends. I had like 18 mutual friends with this person. One of them being our friend, Stephanie Ide. So I accepted, and then I get a message from this person. Greetings, my friend.
Yeah, those always go well.
This is a chance to join the prestigious Illuminati organization. So you can be able to achieve your dreams and goals. If you share the same mindset with the Illuminati, then this isn't an opportunity to miss. For the first time in a long time, the Illuminati is sending out invitations to a few people and are looking to choose from the billions of citizens all over the world, and this is your opportunity. Let me know if you're interested in our invitation. And I go, this is why I don't accept certain people. But the guy looked pretty normal, and Stephanie's a friend. Is Stephanie in the Illuminati?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, man. I hear more stuff about the Illuminati. I never used to believe in the Illuminati.
I've
heard more stuff.
But the Illuminati's been around since, what, 1492?
Right. So, and by the way, you know who's obsessed with the Illuminati? Black people. Talk about the Illuminati all the time.
No, they don't.
And I don't think they believe it, but they wonder if it's real. Because I remember one time my sister was in the hospital. So we're in the hospital. I'm kind of keeping her company. And there was this black couple sitting in the curtain next to us. And they're watching like Inside Edition or one of those shows. And all of a sudden they start talking about Jennifer Hudson's like family or something getting killed. And she goes, yeah, the Illuminati got to them. Yeah, I told my stuff. I go, wait, are you hearing this? Yeah, that's how they got to Michael Jackson, too. And they're like having a discussion about the Illuminati. Then there's like talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce being a part of the Illuminati.
Right.
Jim Carrey went on Jimmy Kimmel and started like making fun of the Illuminati stuff and said, Jimmy, you know, you're a part of it. And I think he was kind of serious. And I'm wondering, like, is this the devil? What is the Illuminati?
What do you think the Illuminati is? Because I don't really know.
Supposedly it's like the secret society.
Right.
Right, that like basically controls certain elements of pop culture to do certain things that the government's all involved with. Now, I don't believe this, but I mean, I keep hearing about it somehow. And they're tied in with the devil.
You didn't get an invitation to join the Illuminati. I got an invitation.
I heard Freemasons are a big part of the Illuminati. I don't know if that's true.
I have no idea. I don't know any of that stuff. Freemasons are everywhere.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
They have a Freemason down the street.
Yes.
Freemason temple.
All over the place.
I don't know. I don't get into any of that stuff, man. I don't know what that's all about, man. I don't know what any of that's all about.
What was the text you got while we were
So Jeff Chadia, I used to have him on my sports talk show when I did a sports talk show for a brief time in the mid teens.
Yeah.
And he
very brief.
Yeah, it wasn't even 2 years. But Jeff would come on every Friday from NFL Network before they was at ESPN. Great writer, great reporter. And he goes, I like your guys this week. So we started texting back and forth.
Meaning the Bills, meaning I like your guys.
And he goes, it's a good sign that Rasul Douglas, and that the linebackers are able to play. The Chiefs only rely on three players aside from Mahomes. Rice, Rashae Rice, Pacheco, who Peter referenced, and, of course, Mr. Swift. And he said Kelsey is not the same player. If the Bills utilize James Cook, Case KC is the last in the league in run win rate, meaning they don't stop the run very well. Play 2 tight ends a lot to attack the Chiefs middle linebacker Nick Bolton and avoid turnovers. I know that's always up in the air. They should win. Mobile quarterbacks give the KC defense fits. Allen, Hurts, Jordan Love, and Russell Wilson all beat them. And I'm like, okay. Now, there is a story about Sean Hockley officiating this game.
Yes.
And the story is, okay, so Sal Capaccio did a little digging on this because he goes, I don't get into the referee stuff, but since so many people have asked, let's dig. To prove football reference, you can look up anything, right? He says, Sean McDermott has coached 124 games. The Bills have been called for 10-plus penalties 16 times. That's only 12.9% of the games. Sean Hockley has been a ref for 4 McDermott games, and the Bills were called for 10-plus penalties in 3 of those, including at Philly this year. And they're also 1-3 in games that Sean Hockley has officiated. So, I mean...
Well, he's part of the Illuminati, so be very careful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You just want Sean Hockley's part of the Illuminati.
He might be.
No, he's not. Jesus.
When I used to produce Lonsbury's show, like Mike DeGeorge would tell me, okay, here's the calls that we put on, here's the calls that we don't. And if anybody calls about the Illuminati, we just don't put them on. I go, the who? He goes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, because like there's all these conspiracy theorists.
With the weather, when the weather gets this, you start to hibernate. People don't go out as much. They're not doing things. But maybe you start to go a little stir crazy. You may want to look into maybe the Rochester Kink Society or something.
Oh, they're back.
Well, Men's Health has come out with something. They have come out with a list of different types of kink and fetishes. And I'd just like to throw these out there and see if you've ever... Do you know what age play is?
Something Mark Hillman might do?
Involves someone playing as a younger age than they really are.
Oy.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Well, yeah. So you could have diapers, babies, weird stuff. Yes.
Yeah, that's still a little strange.
Balloon fetish. It's people who get aroused by
I've heard of
shape or
that.
seal of balloons.
I've heard of that.
Blood play.
Ugh.
Yeah. Bondage, we know. Breath play, another dangerous thing.
Breath play.
This one's called breeding kink. Rooted in fantasy. Usually doesn't mean someone is trying to get knocked up, but fantasizes about getting pregnant and having someone finish inside. Precautions should be taken. Then there's the...
well, isn't that just what sex just is?
Yes.
So, put a baby in me, but not really.
Cock and ball torture.
Oh, gosh.
Swift kick to the doodads.
Rochambeau.
Yeah, I can't... Like
People enjoy this?
Well, there's some strange stuff.
Do you think something happened to these children, when they were children at a young age to make them, like, associate this with a good time?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, it would be an interesting study, right? How about claustrophilia, a sexual attraction to tight places? Sounds like every guy.
Like an airplane bathroom?
Well, I guess.
Join the Mile High Club?
A dynamic clothed dominant female has her way with a naked dude, a CFNM. Never even heard of these things.
So was she dressed like a lumberjack and just put on a beard and like, hey, little guy.
Erotic electrostimulation.
That just stick your finger in a socket.
Using equipment specially made for electronically jolting or stimulating the genitals. Dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Dude, you could give yourself a hernia doing that.
Hey, what happened to Bill? Well, he blew out a ball.
Well, isn't that how David Carradine and Michael Hutchins?
No, that was erotic asphyxiation, where you're trying to cut off the airflow to your neck and jerk off at the same time.
But I mean, I'm like, it's along those lines, though. You know?
I guess.
Ugh.
Exhibitionism, foot fetish, gender bending. A dude wears sexy lingerie.
Like Marv Albert?
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
A sexual attraction to female body hair. Her suit fetish. A hairy person.
Okay.
Hot.
A suit fetish. Wait a minute. Suit?
Her suit. Her suit. HIRSUTE means hairy.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you're attracted like, remember like in The Sopranos where Tony was obsessed with his psychiatrist? So then he told his mistress to start wearing more business clothes? Yeah. I thought you meant like, business suit fetish.
Hot Wi-Fiing. A guy will offer up his consenting wife or significant other to other partners as a source of pride. Hot wifing. I thought it said Wi-Fi. I did.
Yeah, you can probably do it over Wi-Fi.
Well, it's WIFI.
If there's another pandemic, you know.
I thought it was Wi-Fi. I didn't know. Without the humiliation of cuckolding, a guy will offer up his consenting wife or significant other to other partners as a source of pride. Okay. It's
like
weird.
bragging?
Yeah. My wife's so hot, I know you want to bang her.
I'll let you.
I'll let you.
I'll watch. Well, isn't that what Bubba the Love Sponge and Hulk Hogan did at one point with Bubba's wife?
Yeah, I guess.
And they taped it?
Impact play, a power exchange far beyond spanking. Sexual pleasure from being tickled, latex, masochism. These are all, I mean, some of these are just.
Just use your imagination. They probably
Yeah, but orgasm control. Today it's known as edging.
Yeah, they talked about that on Family Guy.
Puts the brakes on an orgasm before it's Darcy blows. Pantyhose, rope bondage, splashing.
What?
Sexual interest in messy, wet, and jelly-like substances. Mostly it involves food, shaving cream, and things like that.
Yeah, but you have to clean up after. I mean, well, maybe that's what you're into.
Wax play. When hot wax, usually from a candle, is dripped or poured onto a partner. I think they make candles that are meant for that. And I knew a guy in college who, and this is where I went, maybe I am into some kinky shit. I never tried it, never did any of that.
Okay.
But this guy would talk about this chick, and she was attractive. I mean, you know. But then when he told me she likes to have hot wax dripped on her, it made her like 80 times hotter to me. I was always like, man, that's like, I couldn't figure out how does it work? Who does what? All this stuff.
Like in old school where Vince Vaughn told Luke Wilson, you know how long I've been waiting for a woman that's as expressive as your girl? And, you know, I mean, like, do you realize how many bridges you have to cross in a relationship to get to that point?
Well, not necessarily, because if I'll tell you
or with
this.
Yourself.
What do you mean?
Like, you have to, like, all of a sudden you're turned on by these things. But then you have to share that with somebody.
Okay, but how do you know if you're turned on by them? Now, you've been asked to. I will say this, and I don't know for certain, but I'm going to just go from my head. I think if the woman has to bring it up, because I think if the guy brings it up, it may be a little weird. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But if a chick says, I like hot wax dripped on me, I think most guys go, I'm in. tell me where you like it.
Yeah, pretty much. A woman could get a guy to do almost anything.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If she says, I like this. Now, if she says, I like this, and you go along with it, and then at some point you decide, hey, maybe I'll tell her what I like. But I don't know how you figure out that you like stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, someone has to introduce you to it along the way.
Or you're so like, okay, think about famous people, right? Like, let's think about like the.
Well, I mean, like the choke chick that to choke her. I don't mean to bring up a painful moment for you, but I'm going, who did that to her first that she realized she liked it?
Yeah, that
did it happen once by accident in the heat of a moment? Did a guy just reach out and grab, slip, and his hand went around her neck? And
I have no idea. I didn't even ask.
Yeah, she sounded like that too.
I just want a little pressure.
No,
I'm like,
no, but I understand. What were you going to say before I rudely interrupted?
No, I forgot. No, think about famous people, right?
Yes.
Like, okay, like Wilt Chamberlain, for example, or Mick Jagger. They've been with like thousands. They've bragged about it.
Yeah.
So at some point, they probably I don't know what the number is. They probably got bored at some point and start like doing stuff. But I mean,
that's where you go. Do some of those people then try same sex? Do they just get bored and try same sex?
They might
have had it all.
They have no appreciation for it anymore, or they've gotten accustomed to it. But then, like, you go to this venue.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot going on. Like I had a buddy of mine whom, you know, and I've always seen him a few times since college. Great guy, and he's telling me about his wife. He goes, so check this out. He's got a real deep voice, and he goes, my wife's into girls. I go, wait, what? He goes, it was real cute how she said it. I go, what do you mean? So after we got married, she goes, I got a confession. I thought she was cheating on me. No. She goes, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I kind of like girls, and I wanted to ask you if you'd be interested in He goes, yes. Yes. He goes, and I go, wait, so seriously? So she goes, oh, yeah. So we go out and we we'll try to find people together. I go, oh.
But isn't that cheating? Isn't that, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm not going to.
As long as you're into it, who cares? I don't, whatever gets
I don't wander down those roads.
Yeah,
No.
that's fine. And that's none of my business. But yes, I think if a woman brings up some kind of anything that we've listed on this list, I think a guy would go, oh, okay. All right.
But there's also, we know a couple who actually stopped doing it, swinging.
Oh, swinging, yeah.
Because they said it got boring. And it became, or she said it got old, apparently.
Yeah.
And then also, like, there were some other factors involved.
Of course there are.
So, I mean.
I'm just, I don't know. The swinging thing, I'm not really a big, I wouldn't like sharing. It would be weird. I think I don't know. I think,
yeah, it's not like tapas at a restaurant, okay? These are people.
It's all in how you look at it. Some people can just look at sex as just like mutual masturbation, and then some people see it as
There's always a price tag. It's always personal. It's never free.
I guess in Oklahoma, speaking of this,
I could see this happening in Oklahoma.
No,
yeah.
no.
Oh,
Representative Justin Humphrey
okay.
has put forth legislation that would prevent any school student that purports to be an imaginary animal or species, no furries, from participating in school curriculum or activities. It would prevent a student who engage in furry behavior from attending classes. So I wonder if this is
Furry
like even
behavior.
at the college level.
I've heard of this, but I don't really understand.
Well, it's
it.
people who dress up like like a wolf or something like that, and they like to get banged.
Oh yeah, like remember that time?
Ow, ow!
So remember when we played kickball against this team, and a couple of them dressed up like animals?
Yeah.
And Jackson started talking to him, and your wife had to like intervene.
I don't remember that at all.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. They're not real mascots.
I don't get
And you're like, he knows. But they're like dressed up. One dressed up as a lion. Another guy dressed up as a bear.
I don't remember that at all. Yeah. Animal.
Play kickball, folks.
He says anybody who did this would be picked up by animal control.
They're trying to maintain order.
Animal control. We got a loose lion.
By the way, there's a show on Fox called Animal Control with Joe McHale.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny.
Is it really?
It's cute. It's very well done.
In Kentucky, legislation has been introduced relating to how it would legally be referred to when someone has sex with their first cousin.
Well, wasn't there a guy from the show Survivor, that one survivor, he ran for office,
Yeah.
and won, and now has proposed legislation to marry your first cousin? This came out today.
I don't know. Is his name Nick Wilson?
It might be.
Representative Nick Wilson has proposed House Bill 269.
Yes, I think this is the guy.
Which would remove the label of incest as it pertains to first cousins who get their nookie on. Didn't we know that? We had that letter from somebody?
Every time the Republicans are just about to head in the right direction, they do this.
Specifically, well, we don't know. He just says representatives. I don't know if he is or not. It doesn't say what his... Specifically, if passed, it would strike first cousins from the list of familiar relationships defined as unlawful incest in the state. Could anything be more Kentucky? You know what I'm saying? Alabama.
Well, that's why I figured.
Kentucky.
That's why I figured it was a Republican.
It would also. You're probably right. It would also. But I don't know, so I didn't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to pick on a party. You know what I mean? Look it up. Representative Nick Wilson. It would also drop the penalty from being a Class D felony, unless it's committed with a person who is less than 12 years of age. Oh, my God.
Class D felony.
So at 13, Nick Wilson's first cousin couldn't be reached for
Can you
comment.
imagine the cops showing up and, like, with the sirens going on, like, hey, you've been arrested for banging your cousin?
In Facebook, on Facebook, in a Facebook post, excuse me.
Yeah, Nick Wilson's a Republican. Yes.
Nick Wilson
guy from Survivor. Yep.
Backtrack saying the original version of his bill was a mistake.
Yeah. For 18 pages?
He withdrew his version of the bill and refiled a corrected version, which places first cousins back in the list of relationships included under the incest statute. He added that the intent of the bill was to combat a problem of familia and cyclical abuse that transcends generations of Kentucky.
There's a statute.
Combat a problem of familia and cyclical abuse that transcends generations.
Well, here's a question, though. I mean, like, okay, And I'm not.
So why would you make?
I'm not trying to be lighthearted about this, but what about like Amish people? Their societies are so small.
Yes.
Like the family tree's got to be going in circles at some point, right?
No, it's just very straight.
Or did like, or
There's no branch.
Oh, okay. Or do people just like the cops and the FBI and like they're like, okay, they're doing their own thing. Let them do their own thing. They're not in society, our society, so they can just go and do whatever they want.
I don't know the answer to that.
Because I mean,
I don't know the answer to that. It's freedom of religion in the Amish society. You're right. I mean, I don't know.
well, yeah, but like in Utah, you can't have multiple wives.
Anymore.
Well, you could.
I think there was at one point. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they outlawed it.
All right.
There is a guy in New York City right now. If you go to the New York Post, love the New York Post headlines, by the way. But it's a New York. It says New York City singer. He got 5 different women pregnant. They're all pregnant at the same time. They all almost seem to be equally pregnant, like into their whatever trimester, whatever the gestation period.
Irish quintuplets.
And he had a baby shower for all his baby mamas. And I can't tell if it's a joke. The guy's from Queens. I have no idea, but you'll see it. And they're all like young, attractive women that all bang the same guy. And
Was it Antonio Cromartie from the Jets?
No, yes.
He had like 9 kids. He couldn't remember all their names on Hard Knocks.
One of them said that were like the sister wives from the old show.
Yeah.
But that yes, it was on.
Was it True Love or what was it?
I don't
Real
remember.
Love?
But that was Utah.
Big Love.
I thought that was in Utah.
Yeah, it was based out of Salt Lake City.
That did go on, and it was part of a religion. I don't know how you legislate because you have freedom of religion. It's a slippery slope there.
Yeah, it really is. So I had a Mormon roommate in college, and he told me that the church, wink, wink, outlawed it. Okay. But I recently had a friend of mine tell me, you won't believe what I found out about my family. I go, what? I found out we're Mormons. I go, you have to choose to be a Mormon. She goes, no, here's what I mean. She goes, my great-grandmother had a lot of money and nobody knew why.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Okay.
She goes, and she never talked about it. And then we did a little genealogy research with Ancestry.com and found out that she got married to a dude who was one of the founders of the Mormon church. And then after they got married, she goes, he tells her, okay, you come with me, you're going to meet your sister wives. She goes, my sister what? So he courted her, not telling her that he was, 1, a Mormon, 2, that he was a polygamist.
Yeah.
And she like lost her mind. So they had this huge financial settlement. The Mormon church has trillions of dollars, okay, even back in the old days. And they paid her off to keep her mouth shut. So that's why she never talked about it. And they found out, that's how they made their money. Now, the Mormons will tell you that according to the Mormon doctrine of Joseph Smith, I think he's a great fiction writer. Joseph Smith said, in order to go to heaven, you have to be married.
Yeah.
So when certain guys would die, they would go and marry their widows.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then but it was a ploy. It was a scam. But sorry, Mormons, be religious full of crap. And so this was part of it.
Well, a lot of times religions were just meant to get laid.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that.
Oh, yeah. I can think of one in particular. I'm not going to say the name. And, oh, by the way, in fairness, in the Old Testament, polygamy was a thing.
Yes, it was.
Now, God never condoned it. They just did it anyway.
Yeah, they did.
In Deuteronomy, they talk about just one wife for one, but, they did it anyway. King David had multiple wives. Solomon had 1,000.
Yes, that's it. Man, who do I choose tonight?
But then when Jesus showed up, nope, just one. Just one. And by the way, if you could marry multiple wives, Billy, based on what we've been through as husbands, would you really want to do it?
What women want to have to deal with us.
I got to tell you, man, if they ever legalized that, I would take money and go on a speaking tour telling people why it's not okay to marry more than one wife.
That's funny.
I think most men would agree.
Yes. Iron Smoke Distillery, Danny. That's where you go. You need a little break.
Played there, man.
That's right. Yeah, you did. That's right.
Playing there again this summer.
You can go on to their website, ironsmokedistillery.com, and you can email Scully, and you can go and take a tour and get a tasting and the whole thing.
They got a lot of cool stuff there.
They do have a lot
gear.
of cool stuff. Here's the really awesome thing about it. It not just people in our area saying it, but Forbes magazine saying they're one of the 10 best bourbons outside of Kentucky. Now tonight,
and now we know why. After hearing that story about Nick Wilson in the Republic.
Yes, outside of Kentucky,
because you start drinking that stuff.
Yeah. Tomorrow night you've got we've got a lot of cool stuff going on at Iron Smoke Distillery this weekend. So tonight, Friday, January 19th, you've got Transport playing. Now, earlier, it's going to be Steve and Tim doing the Friday Acoustic Sunset sessions. Those will begin at 5. But then at 8:30, Transport, and they're playing all the hits, all the rock and pop hits from the 2000s. And then Saturday night, you've got the Acoustic Sunset sessions with Ethos starting at 3:30, and then it's you. And I don't mean your band.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wish.
You can get up and sing with a live band. It is live band karaoke on a Saturday night. That's a big deal. That really is a big deal. If you really want to go out and get seen and start a band and have some fun, baby.
Yeah, go out and do that. Tyler does a great job.
Yep.
And his crew.
Live band karaoke, sing with a live band behind you, and you'll be a rock star. And you get to see what it's like to be on stage, right? I mean,
you'll feel the energy.
Yeah, man, you do.
People tell you you're good even when you're not. I know how that feels.
Speaking of energy, a former, excuse me, I said former, I'm misspoken. A NFL wide receiver talks about energy and how one photo tore down an entire team. We'll get to that.
Huh.
Next.